up, y'all? KMB the Sexy Ninja.
I'm Doug.
You know what we're here for?
Yeah, well,
Well,
you say that when we have a bunch of things that we're putting out.
well,
So-
you went to the theater for this.
Yeah.
I sat on my couch and watched this. So
I want to try to get back into going to the theaters. I don't want streaming services to stop me from doing that.
no, and after Fast 9, I had such a blast to where it was just like, this is why I go to the movies, you know.
And I mean, I went and saw Black Widow in theaters. I went and saw, which we're going to talk about at some point too, I'm sure. I don't know what order you're going to put these out in.
Well, let's do it. Let's jump on in. Space Jam.
Yeah, I went and saw Space Jam.
A New Legacy. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. This like everybody that I messaged was like, "Oh man, Space Jam is dope," and then everyone was like, "Of course you would have liked it. Of course." And this gentleman here,
I just messaged you back like, your movie IQ is just like tanked recently. Like, what is going on? Like Fast 9, that's totally fine because our expectation going into that movie was
leave your brain at the door. Like,
that's how this is gonna go. That's cool, fine, whatever. But like, you've just been on this kick for like the last 2 years of actually no, even longer than that. I think since you've had a kid, of just like your criticism.
But I didn't like
movies.
Godzilla vs. Kong. I didn't like Quiet Place 2. There's things I don't like, and I tell you about it.
That is two things, and I think if we'd seen Godzilla vs. Kong in theater, you would have had a better appreciation for it.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not saying you would have liked it. I'm not even saying you would have liked it, let alone loved it. But I think you would have had a better appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I'm realizing when we watch things in theaters versus at home. I mean, one, it's a completely different setting, and two, it's more immersive being there. So I don't know. But with Space Jam 2, like
25 years, right?
Yeah,
Since
25
the first
years
one.
since 96 was when the first Space Jam came out, and let's put this disclaimer out there straight away. Nobody goes and sees Space Jam for the acting.
No,
Like,
and spoilers, like spoiler heavy on this. I don't know if people would care because it's very predictable.
it's
and
the
like,
most
yeah.
predictable thing. Like, it's actually annoyingly predictable. Especially what
I think
happens
it's
with
just,
the son.
I think the reason why I liked it was, one, I was watching it with my kid.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you know, she's never watched the Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've tried to get her to watch the Looney Tunes, and she has this kind of weird fascination with basketball lately.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, "Yeah, I'll watch it with you." And she's got a she's got a LeBron James toy that she got from McDonald's. Now she has it all the time with her.
Interesting.
Yeah, his Toon Squad jersey with the ball that can go back and forth like this. You know, that's really
cool.
Yeah. So, but I was like, okay, we'll watch this. You know, I like Space Jam. I was never in love with the Space Jam. I was there for the Looney Tunes. You know, but after watching this movie, the best quote I got from my daughter, I was like, "So, what'd you think of the Looney Tunes?" She goes, "I like them." I said, "Okay, why?" "They're violent."
They have always been.
Yeah, and I was just like, yes, they are.
It's Tom and Jerry. It's the best part of comedy from pretty much the 1930s forward was beating the tar out of someone.
Well, that's why I really wish I watched the Tom and Jerry movie, but it was so hard because I've gone into that before. But with Space Jam, that's why I liked it so much, like because it was something that I enjoyed with my daughter. Then afterwards, she's like, "Let's play basketball." So we played basketball afterwards, you know, and it. I will say LeBron James is not an actor. He's very LeBron James, you know.
Even when he's trying to be silly and goofy, you're just like, okay, you're really trying. And it's unfortunate when you see an actor like trying, because some of the best acting it seems just natural, not like they're trying to do it. It's
even Don Cheadle, like he was there, and Don Cheadle's like Don Cheadle, like he's good. He was good in this too, like. But
you are right that like you said something about like he's there for a paycheck, and like it's.
And I just think seeing the Looney Tunes again, because like I did some research before watching the movie. Just jumping back into it, just things I forgot. I rewatched Space Jam, the first one, and I forgot how they were gonna go and make a bunch of other franchises off of Space Jam, because they wanted to do a Space Jam 2, but Jordan was like, "Nah, you know, I did the first one. You know, I'm not an actor. I'm a basketball player. Then they were going to try to do Skate Jam with Tony Hawk. They were going to do Golf Jam with Tiger Woods. This was supposed to launch the Looney Tunes multiverse in that day. You know, the Martian Manhunter movie, that never happened. Then they did Looney Tunes Back in Action, which really shelved.
Did you mean Marvin the Manhunter?
Marvin
the Martian?
Marvin the Martian, sorry.
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter, yeah. But you know, he was supposed to get his own movie. They actually had test footage for it that they released, but never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Then Looney Tunes Back in Action really put the nail in the coffin.
Well, that was after Brendan Fraser was cool. So
yeah. So, but it was just like, oh, they just tried so hard to be like, let's get the Looney Tunes out there. Let's get the Looney Tunes.
But it was just, you got to understand that, like, you were saying yourself that your daughter didn't really care for the Looney Tunes. Like, it's a generational thing for us.
Yeah.
Where that was something that, like, cartoons when we were young weren't that great at that point outside of Tom and Jerry, the Looney Tunes, like stuff like that. And then when we started getting older, that's when more modern, good cartoons started coming out. And so most kids get what's left from that. Like when we were younger, that's when the original Teen Titans came out. And now kids are getting things off of those kind of worlds.
And, you know, Looney Tunes was something that I watched, like, gosh, every Saturday. Like, you know, I watched Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, you know, those were big key staples of cartoons that I used to watch, you know.
I'm not saying that they weren't. I'm just saying that's our generation versus the previous one.
Like, it's rabbit season, it's duck season, you know, the little sprinkles in there. And, you know, and I saw this one tweet.
That was so forced, though.
It was. The one thing that I did not, like, I saw this one dude tweet it, oh, this is a kid's movie, and, you know, it's not for you 33, 35-year-olds, blah, blah, to be, you know, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like,
if they wanted that, they wouldn't call it Space Jam. They'd call it their own thing. And it still doesn't make sense that it's called Space Jam.
And the whole Warner 3000 thing, I was like, okay. Sure. Like,
let's make a very, very forced way to make this occur. Now, you know what I think could have solved at least my issue with that specific aspect? Not the Warner 3000 thing, but the Space Jam part. If instead of the Warnerverse or whatever they ended up calling it, they called it the Warner Cyberspace. Oh. Because then it would have been Space Jam, but it would have been a Cyber Space Jam.
Yeah, that's true.
And that, granted, they would have been a little more forced to make it there, but they forced enough things in this, like the Rick and Morty cameo.
They got rid of Taz. They're just like, like, we don't want this guy no more.
The Harry Potter thing.
Oh my gosh, when he's like, I'm a Hufflepuff, I was like,
oh my gosh, like LeBron James. I would totally be, you know, if you've read every single Harry Potter book, watched all the movies, good on you, cool. That line still seemed like one of the most forced things in that entire.
I did like the montage when they went and got everybody, you know, and I like Babs' little thing, how she's like, I'm going to become an Amazon.
You mean
was it Babs?
Lola?
Lola?
Yeah,
where am I getting Babs from?
Babs is from Tiny Toons.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Lola. Yeah, I like Lola.
It's the other female rabbit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That part was pretty forced as well. Like, there was nothing fluent about this movie. Like, I think that's one of my big problems, is it was so clunky in how everything went. Like, if they just had the tunes there in the first place, and like maybe one or two of them had gone somewhere to take care of something, like to try to save something else, like Lola leaving to go to the Amazon place, cool, that's fine. But it's just everything else that preceded that into that made that seem
it was definitely a big commercial for Warner Brothers to be like, look at all our other franchises we have. But I don't know, for me, I just had a good time. I was laughing the whole time, especially like when Michael B. Jordan came, because I just love Michael B. Jordan. And when they're like, oh, I got Michael Jordan, and I was just like, wait, what? And then I was like, no, there can't be Michael Jordan. And then when they're like, yeah, and he came out, and then my favorite line was like, you couldn't get Michael A. Jordan, you got Michael B. Jordan, you know. But there's one problem one of my problems that I had with the movie. This is just from a story aspect. Bugs trying to be clever about getting the team, even though LeBron wants to build a team of like King Kong and Iron Giant, Superman, and so on, whatever. I was just like, why are you being sneaky about it? He knows that you know you're the only one on Tuesday. Like, to an extent, I know he wasn't that smart in the beginning, but
oh my gosh, they made Anthony Davis and him seem so stupid. Like, I know that these are two highly intelligent individuals, those LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but they made them seem so stupid in this movie. I was just like, look.
Well, that's what happens with movies with parents and whatnot, you know, and that's why when he's like, we're so serious about basketball, we're so serious in these courts, you know, and then he realizes, oh, remember fun? You're supposed to have fun, you know. Now we got to be Looney, you know.
Yeah, no, that was the most forced thing ever, where you're like, wow, he is so overly strict. But the moment he learned that this doesn't work like basketball, he should be like, okay, guys, go Looney Tune, go crazy. And yeah, and then, okay, so...
Well, he had to learn that, because remember, he kept on pushing his son.
Not until halftime.
Yeah, well, that's when he was losing. That's when you get
When
your
he was
darkest
losing by
moments.
1,000 points, and then that's when he decided to let them be Looney.
I like style points. I was just like, this game is ridiculous.
Which didn't mean anything in the second half.
Yeah.
Like, except for when the Toon Squad scored.
When we finally got to the game, I looked at the time. I was like, we got 50 minutes left in this movie. Like, we're gonna spend the whole time with the game? All right, sure. Like that.
No, and then like in the fourth quarter, not a single style point was given. Despite him, like when he posterized Don Cheadle's character, it was only 2 points given for the dunk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, didn't somebody
well remember they kept changing the rules too, and they were cheating.
Well, no. But it was everything was still somewhat consistent, because remember, they were down by 1,000 points in the first half.
Did you like the crowd though? Like when you kept on
why the hell are some of those people there in a kids movie?
I don't know, Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Because you know my kid, Pennywise she was like Pennywise, and I was just like, well, all right, sure.
And then like a lot of the Game of Thrones stuff, and I'm just like, if this is targeted towards kids, why do we have these references?
But that's the thing, though. I don't think it was that. Like you said, why slap Space Jam's name on it if you're not going to get our ages to watch this movie? You know.
Well, but then they mess up the Training Days line. He's just like, "Ain't King Kong got nothing on me," and you're like, no. If we're gonna say it,
he did cuss too, which I found was weird.
Yeah,
it's like,
then he got bleeped out cussing at another time,
and then I thought, oh, that bleep would have worked better if you did the King Kong line.
Yeah,
but I did like King Kong line. You know, everything was kind of so stupid that I was just like, you know, I'm just like one of those.
I got lost in it pretty quickly, as far as like the entire time in the beginning before he gets sent to the Warnerverse. I was like, huh. This is a very boring movie so far.
I wasn't bored. Like I said, I sat there and enjoyed it for the most part. It wasn't the greatest movie I've ever seen. It was just a movie that I saw, most likely due to my kid. You know, that's just the way it went.
Yeah, no, all right. Yeah.
What would you rate this movie?
I don't know, like a 4 out of 10, maybe.
4 out of 10. I would give it a 6.
Oh.
I'm not gonna be like 10 out of 10 like I usually do, because
no, and that's
I would give it a 6 just because it made me happy to see the Looney Tunes, and it made me happy to have my daughter be like, I like the Looney Tunes now because of violence, but still, you know, and the fact that she likes basketball, I've always wanted her to be, you know, into sports or whatnot. So hopefully, maybe basketball is a sport she plays.
Yeah,
but I didn't really care for the Goon Squad.
No, they got so overshadowed in all of this, like. In the very beginning of the game, they did some neat stuff, but it just completely fell apart later on.
Oh, we saw the Monstars, though.
Yep, you got to see the little Monstars. That was neat. And I think it's weird that they were unhappy when the Toon Squad won, even though at the end of Space
they went and joined the Looney Tunes.
They joined the Looney Tunes.
That was another thing, is like when the little joke where Bugs Bunny's like, "Oh, us play basketball and help you save the world." That sounds familiar. I'm like, I don't understand why no one could have just been like, oh, hey, we did this like 25 years ago. We could help you, you know?
Well, I don't know. And it is funny to me, though, that, like, I mean, Space Jam is owned by Warner Brothers. They flat out point out that fact when they're going through the Warnerverse thing and have the Space Jam come down as one of the movies that they're, like, showing in the background.
That's why I was kind of like, why are we not making more connections to the original Space Jam if this is a sequel, or... It's not feeling like a reboot.
No.
This is a sequel in all aspects, but you're still like, no. Wait a minute. What? We never did that. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
we'll make the weird jokes about, oh, this is not that, but it is that.
Which it also seemed interesting to me that LeBron never did anything toonish after, like, the beginning when he was there. He also accepted the whole, there are tunes way too quick. Like,
At least Michael was like, I think I'm dreaming.
yeah,
I think
I
you
must
know.
be dreaming. Just...
But like when he became a cartoon, he's like, oh, okay. You know.
Yeah, no, he. Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
But yeah, 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10.
I didn't say it was the worst thing ever. I just think it's not a good movie.
I just like your text back to me. That made my whole day because you just. But let us know what you think of Looney Tunes, A New Legacy.
Yeah, sure.
Is that what it's called? A New Legacy?
Or a Pooh Legacy. Either
Okay.
one.
Tell us what you think. I like the movie. Not so much. 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Let us know. Now, like and subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja.
And I'm Doug.
Bye.
I need to...